public meetings. In an effort to preserve order and decorum, here are a few rules and guidelines we ask everyone to follow during the meeting. You may bring signs and similar items into the council chambers, but these items may not be held above shoulder height or otherwise obstruct the view or block the path of members of the audience. Disruptions impact the flow of discussion, potentially intimidate others, and detract from the purposes of the meeting. Therefore, disruptive behavior, including, but not limited to, cheering, shouting, booing, or the use of profanity is prohibited. Applause is only permissible during the presentations and proclamations portion of the agenda. Threats directed toward any individual or group are prohibited. Speakers may not campaign or advocate for or against candidates for office or ballot issues or otherwise attempt to influence the outcomes of elections. A full list of meeting rules is displayed at the entrance of the council chambers. During the public hearing portion of the agenda and during communications from citizens, when your name is called, please come forward to the podium. Then state your name, your town of residence, and begin speaking. Remarks shall be limited to 3 minutes. Citizens who are at the meeting and wish to donate their time to a single speaker must fill out an individual card and then combine their speaker cards. In such an event, one person from the group shall be designated to present their remarks, which shall be limited to 6 minutes. If one speaker is speaking on behalf of others who are present, the mayor or vice mayor shall read into the record the names of those whose time is combined. No person other than the individual speaking shall enter into the discussion. Officials on the dais may not respond to any questions or comments during communications from citizens. However, the council may ask questions during public hearing items. All comments and questions shall be directed through the mayor or presiding officer. Thank you again for attending a Gilbert Town meeting and for your participation in local government.
You like that, Bobby? I like that. Yeah, she liked that. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll call to order the regular meeting of the Gilbert Town Council, April 8th, 2025. Our invocation this evening will be given by Rachel Jorgensen with the Women's Ministry Director of the Grove Church. Thank you, Rachel.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening with full hearts of gratitude. Thank you for the gift of this community, for the beauty of Gilbert, for the people that call it home. for the opportunities to live and flourish together here. Someone who's lived here for over 16 years, raised my family here, and now serves in ministry. I've seen firsthand the heart of this town, a place where people show up for each other, where the spirit of service runs deep. We thank you, our mayor, our council members, our town staff, and all who lead with purpose and care. We recognize the weight of responsibility. And Lord, we ask you that you give them wisdom, wisdom rooted in truth, humility, discernment, and compassion. Your word reminds us in James 1:5, if anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask God, who gives graciously. So we ask you, please pour out your wisdom tonight. As decisions are made, may their actions be guided with a desire to serve a greater good. May they be sensitive to the needs of our neighbors, attentive to the voices of the people, and thoughtful in the direction of the town, so that it will come to bless generations. Bless every person in this room, our town, our families, and our local businesses. Inspire us to work together with respect and understanding. Help us to be people who listen well, speak kindly, and care deeply. May this meeting tonight just be guided by you and reflect strong leadership and a deep love for this community. It's in your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you for that powerful prayer. Councilmember Torgerson will be directing the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. We've got some Girl Scouts that are going to help us. Please rise.
Rather than take much time with myself, I'd like this young lady to introduce these women so we can hear their names before we start this.
Hello, I am Katie, and I am the leader of Troop 3986. We are a second grade Brownie troop, and they are each going to tell you their names.
Hello, my name is Quinn and I'm 7 years old.
Hi, my name is Mia Valera and I'm 8 years old and I'm a Girl Scout Brownie.
Hi, my name is Charlie and I'm 8 years old.
My name is Lizzie and I'm 8 years old.
My name is Riley and I'm 8 years old.
My name is Claire and I'm 8 years old.
My name's Jim and I'm 60 years old.
You live 45.
Ladies, would you please lead us? Flags up there.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have our Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts come and lead us in the pledge. Our next item is the roll call.
Mayor Scott Anderson.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bobby Buckley.
Here.
Councilmember Chuck Bongiovanni.
Here.
Councilmember Kenny Buckland.
Here.
Councilmember Young Kaprowski.
Here.
Councilmember Monty Lyons.
Here.
And Councilmember Jim Torgerson.
Here.
A quorum is present.
Thank you. We'll move on to presentations and proclamations. We have several tonight. Our first one will be a proclamation declaring April 2025 as Fair Housing Month. Councilmember Lyons will be reading that proclamation.
Thank you, Mayor. This is Fair Housing Month, and whereas the Civil Rights Act of 1968, the Fair Housing Act, and the Fair Housing Amendments Act of 1988 ensure full and fair access to housing opportunities, and whereas shelter is a basic human need, and when shelter is denied, the quality of human life is greatly diminished, and whereas people must not be denied equal access to and enjoyment of housing because of race, color, national origin, religion, sex, disability, or familiar status, And whereas the town of Gilbert recognizes and values the efforts of those who seek to reduce barriers to full and fair housing opportunity, and whereas April is designated as Fair Housing Month, now therefore, Mayor Scott Anderson of the town of Gilbert and the Gilbert Town Council hereby proclaim the month of April the Fair Housing Month.
Thank you. Our next proclamation will be declaring the week of April 20 through 26, 2025 as National Infertility Awareness Week. Vice Mayor Buckley will be presenting it to Elizabeth Lee. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Would you like to introduce yourself?
That would be great. So my name is Elizabeth Lee. I'm an infertility professional from the Gilbert area, and I have with me several former patients of mine. Do you guys want to say your names? Are you okay with that? Or
Hi, I'm Jennifer Dunn. Thanks to Elizabeth. I have two beautiful little boys.
My name is Robin, and I have one beautiful daughter because of Elizabeth.
My name is Cole Phillips, and I have Kensington Phillips, one beautiful daughter.
Thank you, and welcome to all of you. I have too many things in my hands.
and it's a stupid long one too. I apologize. It's a very long proclamation.
Well, that's quite all right. So this is National Infertility Awareness Week in Gilbert. Whereas, according to the CDC, 1 in 7 couples have trouble getting pregnant or sustaining a pregnancy. And whereas the World Health Organization and American Medical Association define infertility as a disease, and whereas infertility affects women and men equally and does not discriminate based on race, religion, sexual orientation, marital status, or socioeconomic level. And whereas all people challenged in their family building journey should have access to all family building options, such as in vitro fertilization and third-party reproduction. And whereas the cost and the lack of insurance coverage are significant barriers for many in our state to access family building options they need. And whereas raising awareness of infertility and the barriers faced by the family building community is the first step to removing these barriers. And now therefore I, Scott Anderson, Bobby Buckley, on behalf of Scott Anderson, Mayor of the town of Gilbert, Arizona, do hereby proclaim April the 20th to the 26th, 2025 as National Fertility Awareness Week. And thank you all.
Do you care if I say something super quickly?
Oh,
okay?
Sure. No, you can. And
Amazing.
I was going to see if your little one might want
Well, I don't know. I think she's being very shy. So I did just want to say thank you, Mr. Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of this committee. This is the second year in a row that you have recognized the value and importance of declaring National Infertility Awareness Week in our city. And it's my profound honor to accept this proclamation on behalf of the many individuals and families, not just here in our community, but all across our country, who are walking a path of infertility, and one that's often a really invisible and deeply personal journey, and overwhelmingly complex. And sadly, the diagnosis is just the beginning. There's the treatment phases that might not work. There's the finances of the entire situation, and there are no guarantees. There are people who unfortunately do not walk away with a family from IVF. And so tonight I'm just so humbled to be surrounded by these patients, both here in person and ones that are watching virtually. They represent courage and perseverance and an extraordinary capacity to hope. And I can think of each of these 3 patients and their cases and the uphill climb that they had and the unbelievable courage and resilience that they showed. This proclamation is for them. It's for every person who sat in silence while grieving a loss the world may never even see. It's very scary for people who fought with infertility, and because no one should have to face this journey alone, I would just love if, with your permission, Mr. Mayor, to ask you all to rise and clap your hands for these infertility warriors who have really fought the good fight to build their families. So thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Here's your proclamation. Do you want a photo?
Thank you. Next is proclamation declaring April 2025 as Waterwise Month, and I believe I'm meeting Jeremiah down there for this. Yeah, do we have the proclamation? Is this on? Thank you. Waterwise Gilbert 2025. Whereas water is our most precious natural resource on earth, and especially within the desert. And whereas the stewardship of Gilbert's water resources and its balanced and responsible use lies with the town council, town staff, residents, businesses, stakeholders. Whereas Gilbert's Office of Water Resources and Conservation implemented many water efficiency programs that aid Gilbert's residents, businesses, and other organizations within the conservation of water. Now, therefore, I, Scott Anderson, Mayor of the Town of Gilbert, Arizona, honor the following 130 businesses, organizations, and facilities that have attained the WaterWise Gilbert status for 2024, and I welcome each of you to join with me in not only expressing our gratitude for their contribution to sustainability, but also in doing all you can to preserve our water resources, which is in your homes, at your work, and in the community. Let me just express how important that statement is as we get further into the, I'm sure you're all aware of the coming crisis that, on the Colorado River and the shortage of water. And that means every much more that we can conserve helps to address that situation. So I'll let Jeremiah present these winners, I guess.
Yes, and I'll just take a second. If you've never heard of WaterWise Gilbert or may have seen a sign in your HOA or community, WaterWise Gilbert is a landscape water budget program. So what we do is map out a facility, what's high water use, what's low water use, and we create a landscape water budget. These 130 members were within their landscape water budget and are being recognized today for watering their landscape efficiently. So we'll just take a minute here and look through these, and afterwards, if there's any of those organization members, please come up after for a group photo. 10 years and 9 years. 8 and 7. 6 years in a row. 5 years. 4 years. 3-year members. Our 2 years. And new members this year. So if there's anyone from those organizations, we'd love for you to come up and take a group photo right now, please. This is awesome. I really appreciate that. Thank you all for your work. We appreciate it. Yes, it will. Thank you all. We appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
See you later.
Thanks for coming. It means a lot to us.
Staying on topic with water, we also want to recognize during the week of, I forgot what the week is, April 14th through the 18th is Water Professionals Week, Appreciation Week. Whereas Gilbert benefits from a rich diversity of water supplies from groundwater stored in vast aquifers, local mountain runoff and snowmelt feeding the Salt and Verde rivers, Colorado River water delivered through an extensive canal system, and the sustainable use of recycled wastewater. And whereas Gilbert invests annually in programs and projects that deliver drinking water, ensure sanitary services, protect public health and the environment, enhance water reliability, and restore groundwater quality. Whereas Gilbert is proud to be a 100% water reuse community, which is no small matter. Whereas the dedication of thousands of water, wastewater, and recycled water professionals ensures safe, reliable, and responsibly managed water resources for Arizona's current and future generations. Now, therefore, I, Scott Anderson, Mayor of the Town of Gilbert, Arizona, do hereby proclaim April 14th to the 18th as Gilbert Water Professionals Appreciation Week. And I'd like to invite Jessica Marlowe up, I think, to give these recognitions out.
I think we might have a few other water professionals in the audience tonight, but I just want to express such gratitude for the dedicated staff that we have that work 24/7, 365 days a year, ensuring that we have safe, reliable drinking water supplies for our community. So I'm very proud to be a part of the water team in Gilbert. Yeah. Do we have anybody else out there? Rebecca, Anthony, Ken, I see you. Come on down. Okay, I'll take a picture.
Still in the picture.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Councilmember Young Kaprowski, and I'd like to invite Stephanie to come up here with me, and any other individuals from the town of Gilbert for the presentation of the proclamation for Gilbert Bike Month. Thank you. Whereas the bicycle is a viable, low-cost, and fun form of transportation, and whereas Gilbert's multi-use path system that connects to other Phoenix metropolitan regional pathways captivates bicyclists from all over the nation annually, and whereas creating bicycle-friendly communities have been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, quality of life, and boost community spirit while improving traffic safety and reducing pollution and congestion, Gilbert's multi-use trail system attracts bicyclists each year from all over the nation and provides connectivity to trail systems throughout the Phoenix metropolitan region. And whereas bicycling activities and amenities positively impact Gilbert's economy and tourism industry, and stimulate economic development by attracting new businesses and residents who enjoy outdoor recreation and healthy lifestyles. And whereas the League of American Bicyclists proclaims May as National Bike Month and Valley Metro proclaims April as Valley Bike Month, and whereas during the month of April, the joys of bicycling will be experienced by many through community events, helmet and bike safety promotions, or by simply going for a ride. And whereas the Gilbert Town Council urges all who support bicycling to participate in the events around the valley and urges all road users to share the road safely. And now, therefore, I, Jan Kaprowski, on behalf of Scott Anderson, Mayor of the Town of Gilbert, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2025 as Bike Gilbert Month. And I'm presenting this to our Senior Transportation Planner, Stephanie Bubenheim. And if you could all introduce yourself.
Thank you. I'm Stephanie, and I'll introduce these two that bike to work. This is Derek in Parks and Rec and Jeannie in Parks and Rec. And I wanted you guys to give your input of what you value most about biking to work, if there's any certain areas.
Well, I'm very thankful for the canals. We were talking earlier. We feel so much safer on the canals, and we really appreciate how much Gilbert is putting effort into making the canals safer for everybody.
I'm just grateful as a town employee for the incentives that the town offers us as employees for biking to work. It's a really great program. The trip reduction program that the town has is pretty awesome.
That's great to hear. Thank you.
Yes, our last item is recognition of Gilbert's MVP volunteer recipients. This is a great thing for us to honor these volunteers. I think Dawn will be presenting, and I'll be down for photo ops, I think. Yes.
Is Melanie coming up too?
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Dawn Prince, and I'm going to be presenting these awards with the mayor tonight. These are the Gilbert Volunteer MVP Recognition Awards. Gilbert's volunteers are the backbone of our community, serving across departments, nonprofits, businesses, faith organizations, schools, and more. They work tirelessly every day to support and uplift our community. These remarkable individuals exemplify our Gilbert values, which are driven, kind, humble, and bold, and deserve recognition for the incredible contributions they make to our town. Tonight, we will recognize the finalists and announce the award winners of our third annual Gilbert Community Volunteer MVP program. Our first value is bold, with our nominees being recognized for their innovation, big ideas, and making a significant impact. The finalists for the bold category are Lorenzo Conegliaro III. If you're here, come on up. Lorenzo has boldly transformed the Gilbert youth football by inspiring teams, players, and coaches. The second finalist for this category, Eric Schildall. Eric boldly came to Gilbert to open a food bank in 2016 and now serves over 280 plus nonprofits across Arizona. And the winner is Eric Schildall. All Eric volunteers for Midwest Food Bank. His fearless commitment to God's people, even without formal experience in running a food bank, has allowed many in our community to not only survive, but to thrive. Okay. If you guys want to stay up here, just step to the side so that at the end we can do a group. So if you want to step to the side, perfect. All right, the next value is driven. These volunteers are recognized for taking on new challenges and devoting many hours of their time to service. And the finalists are Lisa Bailey. Lisa wants to come up now, that would be great. Lisa's unwavering drive as a volunteer board member of Winged Hope Family Advocacy ensures the smooth operation of its mission. The second finalist is Rachel Edelman, and unfortunately Rachel could not be with us today, so Ashley from Fire is going to be coming up on her behalf. From supporting residents and fire crews to training new volunteers and leading community outreach efforts, Rachel's expertise and passion make a meaningful impact. And the winner in this category is Rachel Edelman. Rachel volunteers with the Gilbert Fire Department as a community assistance volunteer. Her 646 hours of service highlight her unwavering drive to help others and to be in service to the residents of Gilbert. The next value is kind. These nominees exemplify serving the community with respect, kindness, and always with a smile on their face. And the finalists are Claude Haynes. Come on down. Since 2016, Claude has kindly devoted his evenings as observatory manager at the Riparian Preserve, inspiring families with celestial discoveries and creating educational programs that illuminate astronomy's wonders, leaving a lasting impact on Gilbert. Our second finalist is Deb Taggart. You want to come on down? After retiring from a 30-year career at Intel, Deb brought unmatched kindness and inclusivity to the food bank, leading volunteers, planning events, and creating a volunteer appreciation program that made everyone feel valued and appreciated. And our winner is Deb Taggart. Deb is a volunteer at the Midwest Food Bank. Her infectious positivity and inclusivity truly embody the heart and kindness of our community. The next value is humble. These nominees have the heart of service and make strong contributions to the organizations they serve. And the finalists for this category are Chambray Mehu. If you want to come on down. Chambray brings a humble, and I apologize if I'm saying that wrong, brings a humble spirit to her work, always greeting everyone with a smile and a positive attitude while serving as a knowledgeable representative of the Gilbert Police Department at community events. Our next finalists, there are two of them, Dan and Cecilia Voron. Gonna come on down. With quiet humility, Cecilia supports women and children at Liberty House while she and Dan provide transportation and lead recovery meetings for Hope for Addiction. And our winner is Dan and Cecilia. This couple volunteers with Hope for Addiction, walking alongside individuals on their journey to freedom from addiction and inspiring the community with their humble dedication. Our next award is to recognize a group that gives back through service, contributions, and more as they make a difference in the Gilbert community. And the finalists are the Gilbert Lions Club. Come on down. The Lions Club supports local initiatives like diabetes awareness and testing, free planting, flags for first graders, food drive, books for K-3 students, eyeglasses, and other impactful projects. In 2021, they began managing the snack shack at the Gilbert Youth Soccer Complex, utilizing youth from the area high schools to help serve. Our next finalists are Living Word Church. Come on down. The volunteers at Living Word Gilbert demonstrate incredible dedication to the community, creatively and selflessly sharing their time and talents, whether serving food, organizing events, or providing support to families and individuals in need, including those from sober living homes. Their kindness and generosity create a welcoming atmosphere that brings hope and transforms lives. And our winner is the Gilbert Lions Club. The Lions Club has been serving the Gilbert community since 1969, and led by Robert Rimmer, the club's volunteers embody the town's values, making a lasting impact in many areas of the community. Yes, you can stay. Yeah. Just one more. Just one more. Okay. Our final category of the night is our youth volunteer. These nominees are definitely represent the dedicated, positive, and hardworking youth in Gilbert. And the finalists are Kevin Chen. Come on down. Kevin's extraordinary, go ahead, clap. Kevin's extraordinary leadership and compassion have transformed lives, raising over $31,000 through product drives for domestic violence awareness while mobilizing volunteers and fostering community involvement to provide crucial resources for survivors. And our next finalist is Emma Mosley. Come on down. Emma's 300 hours of service this year reflect her remarkable dedication and kindness, from mentoring young students and supporting special needs individuals to organizing blood and food drives that uplift our community. And the winner is Kevin Chen. Kevin has been an active volunteer with the Arizona Governor's Office of Youth, Faith, and Family and the Mayor's Youth Advisory Committee, contributing to various special events and initiatives, from the MLK Parade and the Unity Walk to Gilbert Days Parade, Kitty Corner, Riparian Preserve Days, Bloom 365, Peer Advocate Crew, and numerous domestic violence awareness events. His dedication has been remarkable, and we look forward to seeing his next impactful contribution.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you all being here. We appreciate those award winners. Oh, something didn't break. We'll move on to our public hearing section of the agenda. I have no requests to speak. Are any council members you have any questions about anything on public hearings? If not, I'll open the public hearing for items 7, 8, and 9 and close the public hearing and bring it back to the council for discussion and or a motion. Don't everybody speak up at once. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just had a question regarding number 9 and the reduction in the side landscape setback. They want it, from what it looks like, is it's required to have 20 feet, and they want to put it down to 10 feet. And I'm not really in favor of that because it just crams everything in too tight. That's just my opinion, and that's where I kind of stand on that.
Do we have a staff presentation on this item, item 9?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor Anderson, members of the Town Council, Nicole Russell, Senior Planner. The case before the council this evening is Z2418 for the Holiday Inn Express. Oh, sorry about that. Here's the subject parcel, which is currently zoned GC, and to the northwest is the freeway. To the south is PFNI. It is the Mercy Medical Complex. To the east is a general office, and that is an assisted living facility. And to the north, on the other side of Pecos Road, is the Discovery Park. Here's an aerial photo showing the property. The applicant is requesting a PAD amendment to reduce the landscape setback on the southern side of the site in order to accommodate the design of a 5-story, 98-room hotel on an approximate 2.6-acre parcel in a general commercial zoning district. The applicant is proposing to amend the existing development plan, as shown on the screen, and add a new deviation for the landscape setback adjacent to the multi-use path easement on the southern side of the site. The site was rezoned in 2022 from PF&I, the Public Facilities Institutional, to General Commercial with a planned area development to allow for a 4-story, 84-room hotel with deviations for building height, building setbacks, and reduced landscape setbacks. The current request, as previously stated, is to reduce the southern setback from 20 feet to 10 feet. The previous ordinance, as stated before, had a maximum height of 61 feet. Building setback on the rear is 5 feet. Perimeter landscaping along the freeway is at 5 feet, and now they're requesting a reduction from the 20 feet to 10 feet. For the reasons set forth in the staff report, staff asks the council to approve Z2418 as requested, subject to the conditions outlined in the staff report. And I am available to answer any questions, as is the applicant, who also has a presentation.
Any questions for Nicole? Councilman Torgerson?
I just want to confirm the southern part of that property is against other PF&I zoning?
Mayor Anderson, Council Member Torgerson, that is correct. There's an easement right here, a 30-foot wide easement, and it is PF&I. That is the undeveloped portion of the Gilbert Mercy Medical Complex.
Which I believe the town still owns?
I'm not sure.
It's all right. Thank you.
Other questions? Vice Mayor?
Yeah, I don't particularly have a question, but I think I heard you read that the setback that you want smaller is a non-residential side and a non-street side. Is that correct?
Mayor Anderson, Vice Mayor Buckley, yes, that's correct. It is adjacent to the PF&I to the south.
Okay, so really there's nothing that's really affected on that side to make that setback smaller? Or is there vacant land that looks like the freeway to me?
The side is right here. So this is where the Gilbert Medical Campus is. So
Okay,
it's non-residential.
Can you show me where you want to change that setback to 10 feet? What area is
The
it?
southern side right here on the property. This is where they're requesting to go to 10 feet from the 20 that is required.
Okay, yeah, I think based on what I said prior, I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
Does the applicant want to add anything?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Reese Anderson with Pew and Lake, 1744 South Alpha Vista, number 217 is my address. It's always a pleasure to be with you. I don't have anything else to add unless, Vice Mayor Buckley, your questions weren't answered by the staff. Otherwise, I can give you a bit more detail on it, but I don't want to belabor your council meeting this evening with me giving a presentation if it's not necessary, but I am prepared if you'd like.
Okay, no, they answered my question, so
Very good.
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. Any other questions?
Don't see any. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, we'll try this again. Items 7, 8, and 9. I didn't get a motion on that. Can I have a motion for those three
I
items?
make a motion to accept 7, 8, and 9 as written.
Second. Been moved by Councilmember Torgerson, seconded by Councilmember Buckland. Please vote. Motion passes 7-0. We're moving on to consent calendar. Vice Mayor.
Good evening, everyone. To begin the consent calendar portion of the meeting, I'm going to pass this over to our town manager, Patrick Banger, to provide an overview on the items on the consent calendar this evening. Patrick?
Thank you, Vice Mayor, members of the council, Mayor. I'm going to run through the items on consent calendar for you tonight from a high level, and we're happy to answer any additional questions you may have on any of those items. We've got them categorized in our three main areas of focus under strong economy, prosperous community, and exceptional built environment. Starting in prosperous community, we've got some parks and recreation purchase agreements, agenda items number 11 and 13. Number 11 is to provide for some ADA compliant surfing materials for our playgrounds. This would be poured in place as well as engineered wood fiber and just part of our regular maintenance programs to make sure those playgrounds are safe. Item number 13 is an updated agreement with our software provider. We have changed the way we procure this service. It will result in a savings of approximately $135,000 to the town for the upcoming fiscal year. Agenda item number 12, again under prosperous community, is equipment for our police officers. One would be for the purchase of a service and purchase of handguns, weapon-mounted lights, and optical sights. This would be a 2-year agreement for our police department. Again, under prosperous community, agenda items 23 and 24, these are related to our medical and dental benefit plans for the town that we recently covered at the spring financial retreat. The recommended plan design changes and premium rates reduce the operating gap, but do not address projected deficit in the fund balance. Staff will continue to work with Alliant to explore options for bringing additional plan design changes to the council in the next year. As in many areas, we are seeing increased cost in our plans, and the staff has done an excellent job trying to mitigate those impacts to our workforce as much as possible and get the fund balance back to where it needs to be at a sustainable level. And then item number 24 is a new benefit to the employees who have used a minimum of 80 hours of vacation per year. They will have the ability to have 50% of any amount that is over the maximum accrual for the year contributed to a health savings account. And that would be a new benefit for our workforce. Agenda items number 17 and 18 having to do with the potential for a parking garage number 3 in the Heritage District. This is the PMCM services from Beau Arch LLC, as well as Arrington Watkins Architect. And again, we covered this last week at our Heritage District project workshop. This will include the pre-design phase of parking garage 3 for a master plan concept that will entail site selection, master planning, and programming of the Heritage District parking garage 3. It's estimated to take about 9 months in total, with 2 months for contingency. This does not commit the town to building a garage. This is the next phase of exploratory options for a third parking garage in our Heritage District. Agenda item number 16, electric vehicle charging at the Public Safety Training Facility. These are the last of our old charging units that will be changing out. There's 3 in total. These will be on our new system where it'll be a fee-based service. This is for moving the units, pads, running electrical, and removing the old units. The new units will be behind the secured employee gate. The old units were out in front of that, and we will be removing those units from that location. Under exceptional built environment, again, infrastructure maintenance purchase agreements. Item number 10 is for some trucks in our fleet division, heavy-duty cab and chassis utilizing a cooperative purchasing agreement between Rush Truck Centers in Phoenix and the city of Phoenix. Number 14 facilitates the Environmental Compliance Division's use of stormwater probes for cleaning services of the town's stormwater systems in emergency situations when in-house equipment is out of service. The annual contract limit is $60,000, but that will be on an as-needed basis. And then item number 15 utilizes a cooperative agreement between Spray Foam Southwest, Inc., doing business as Global Roofing Group, and the City of Mesa for roofing maintenance and repair services for amount not to exceed $1.5 million. And again, that will be on an as-needed basis for any roofing repairs we have at the town. Item number 20, under exceptional built environment, again, more infrastructure maintenance and purchase agreements. Number 20 is a modification to the contract with DH Pace, broadening the scope to include all town facilities, extending from the North Area Service Center for door replacement and repair with an amount not to exceed $90,000, again, to maintain our facilities. Item number 2 is a modification and increase the OLS restoration contract by $71,000 to address some street pole painting needs we have in the Val Vista Lakes subdivision. Under exceptional built environment and general projects, agenda items 19 and 20. 19 is a contract that provides project management services for Consort Engineering LLC for the Record and Galveston Signal Project in the amount of $165,000. Does have a request, requires a request of $39,720 from contingency. And item number 21 is to Sunland Asphalt, and that is for emergency asphalt repair work they did near Perry High School for a collapsed storm drain pipe that happened. That work has been completed. It was procured under our emergency procurement procedures in our policies, and this is just the approval to pay them for said work. And with that, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the council, we're happy to answer any questions on any of the items.
Can I grab a couple questions?
Does anyone have any questions? Jim?
Just, and it's perfunctory, but on number 10, can you tell us a little bit about the vehicles so the public knows what we're acquiring for $13 million?
Yes, thank you, Jessica.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. That is a blanket contract with Rush Trucks. That's the primary vendor we use for purchasing our solid waste vehicles. And so that's just based on, the expense is based on the anticipated replacement of those vehicles over that 4-year, it's a 4-year contract, so $13 million over 4 years.
The trash trucks,
Trash trucks, yes.
because they've gotten really expensive.
Yes, they're just over $500,000 each right now.
I just wanted to be clear for people to understand where the money was going on that. On number 14, where the funds for 14, the money is coming from which fund?
Mayor, members of council, that's coming from our environmental compliance fund that manages our stormwater infrastructure.
Which is part of the bill that we receive every month.
Correct.
Great. And then on number 21.
That one is also our environmental compliance fund. The repairs were the result of a storm pipe failure, and so that's part of the environmental compliance replacement fund that manages that infrastructure as well.
On our utility bills.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, if there's no other questions, then I will move to approve the consent agenda, items number 10 through 25. Can I have a second?
Second that.
I believe I have a second by Councilmember Torgerson. And if everyone would please vote. And we have a 7-0 vote. And at this point, I will turn this over. That concludes the consent agenda, and I will turn this over to Mayor Anderson.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Your administrative items, we have none tonight, so we'll move right to the communications from citizens. Vice Mayor.
Are we back to me?
We're back to you.
We are back to me. Okay, so we are now going to start the citizen comments. And before we do that, I will read the rules of decorum. So we value the participation of our community members and robust exchange of ideas. However, it's essential that this discourse remains respectful and constructive, reflecting the professionalism expected in such forums. Misinformation and personal attacks undermine our collective efforts and do not contribute to the productive dialogue necessary for our town's progress. This is an opportunity for the public to address the town council directly about the issues impacting the town. Accordingly, the town council will not allow for moments of silence or playing of music or other recorded materials which could distract from the meeting decorum or violate copyrights. While we understand and appreciate the passion of our community members bring to this session, we remind everyone that clapping during the meeting is not acceptable. This practice can disrupt the flow of discussion, potentially intimidate others, and detract from the respectful atmosphere we strive to maintain. Tonight, we will invite you to come up to the podium. When you come up to the podium, please state your full name and the city of residence, and you will have 3 minutes to directly address the town council unless otherwise indicated. If the current speaker will be using 3 minutes of another person's time, that person should state their name, the city they reside in, and acknowledge that they are donating their 3 minutes to the current speaker. They must also be present to do that. In accordance with state law, we are enabled to provide responses to public comments during this meeting. Please be assured that your concerns and inputs are heard and valued. Okay, our first speaker will be Scott Detweiler.
Mr. Mayor, member of council, I wish to raise a zoning concern with a property in the from the town of Gilbert. Wish to raise a zoning concern in the Spring Meadows neighborhood. On 601 South Winthrop, there is a business establishment there, auto repair, possibly. And also, it creates a bit of a safety concern there. The owner of the property, or the occupant of the property, has anywhere from 6 to 8 vehicles parked on their physical property itself. There may be more in the backyard, I'm not certain. And then also, anywhere from 4 to 7 vehicles are typically parked along Winthrop or along Cat Claw. That area is a route for school buses to go through. The number of vehicles along that corner area sometimes makes visibility up and down Winthrop very difficult. And again, it is a residential neighborhood. And I just question whether or not the activities that are going on the property are acceptable in a residential neighborhood. That's why I suggest a review by the town zoning officer. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Scott.
Questions?
We're not allowed to.
Okay, sorry. My first meeting, sorry.
That's okay. Thank you so much. Okay, our next speaker is Phil S. And I'll let you pronounce your name when you come up, your last name. Thank you.
Philip Jefferson, Gilbert, 601 South Winthrop. They seem to have a question about how come I have so many cars. How many boys do I have? Stand up. Everybody has a car. What are you supposed to do? I do not have an automotive business. I do not do anything. All my stuff's registered and insured. I don't know. None of these men, none of these people have ever come and knocked on my door and said, hello, good to meet you. 4 months ago, I married my wife, collected my family, moved to Gilbert with the intention of having a beautiful life in a beautiful place, and we've been nothing but harassed. And I'm not going to, anything you want to know, need to know, please come knock on my door, say, hey, this is what I want, but I'm not going to take abuse from neighbors anymore. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is Len Clapper.
Mayor and council members, I have the same concern.
Can you let us know your full name and city?
Lynn Clapper, Gilbert.
Okay, and maybe pull your mic down just a little bit. There you go.
Okay. First meeting also, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
I have concerns over the same area, mainly for safety reasons. Sometimes the vehicles that are parked on the side of the roads are tall trucks, and it's hard to come around and turn around the corner and see what's coming and what's not. And so I have safety concerns for that same residence. So, but I also have not talked to him, so I guess I should go do that. So that I thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, our next speaker is Mindy Brocker.
Hi, thank you very much. My name is Mindy Brocker. I'm a resident of Gilbert for 10 plus years now and was born and raised here in the Valley. Like many a busy mom, I'm more active on social media, and I learned much about what is happening on the town and public forums. After watching your public records study session last week, I felt compelled to address an issue at the heart of our democracy, the right to access public records. It's not just a legal matter, but one of transparency and trust in our local government. I stand here today against what seems to be an increasing effort to bully and shame citizens, especially with council members trying to force people to reveal their identity just to access public records. Why? To intimidate or harass? I've personally used both my name and an anonymous email to obtain public records, and while I have no issue standing here to tell you that, others, including my own husband, fear retaliation if I speak up. My friends, My family and I have already been subjected to attacks initiated by public officials in the area. I've had public and private conversations about public records. I dared not correct some elected officials to tell them that any of those requests came from me for fear that I would face similar harassment that they have already directed at other residents. From my perspective as an everyday Yahoo living her life in Gilbert, nobody appears to be exempt from these attacks. Many elected officials in Gilbert, including some council members right here, have in the past relied heavily on public record to understand government actions and hold officials accountable. They understand the importance of transparency. So why now should citizens who seek the same transparency be vilified? We cannot label residents as stalkers, a nuisance, or harassers for using their right to review public records or to speak up at public meetings. The right to access public record, while I'm sure is annoying, is essential to a healthy democracy. It's deeply troubling to know of more than one elected official threatening retaliation with violence, social destructions, lawfare, etc., when somebody dares to question their decisions, publicly challenge their choices, or ask for public record. Let me be clear, these threats have no place in government, and public officials must act with respect for citizens' rights. The right to view these records is guaranteed by state law and ensures that government actions are transparent and subject to scrutiny. To deter the citizens from exercising that right sends the wrong message and undermines our trust in our council. It's also very concerning that the Gilbert Police Department has been used to intimidate or harass people who are simply engaging in legitimate civic activity. Disingenuous political actors have been using the police force to attempt to make the trivial legitimate. Police are meant to serve and protect the public and must immediately stop allowing themselves to be weaponized for political purposes. As for the claim that Gilbert leads the nation in public record requests, that is simply untrue. It's refutable. A quick Google search will show you that. Also, I hope you apply more rigor when analyzing project costs generally, but I saw nothing in the presentation that broke down costs with the exception of the cost of the program itself. Lastly, I want to remind the council of its history of making it harder for the public to engage with government. From eliminating the ethics complaint process to pushing public comment to the end of long meetings, these actions do undermine trust between the public and the council. The right to access the public record is fundamental. It belongs to every citizen, not just a select few. So I would urge this council to take immediate action to make public record more accessible, first by putting them online so everybody can view them, and secondly, by committing to a more timely and transparent process. Let us prioritize our public record and make sure that all residents have the tools they need to stay informed. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Pam Savilli.
Hi, yes, my name's Pam Savilli. I'm a resident of Gilbert and a homeowner in the Spring Meadows neighborhood. So I really appreciate your time here. I feel that we have a really serious problem with that residential home, and that, especially with their yard and the street around it truly looks like a junkyard. I think that they're abusing the privilege of living here by turning their corner lot and the adjacent street into what really looks like a junkyard. I'm glad I heard their claims this evening, but I will say I've never harassed them, and based on what they've said, I don't really see that they would change anything if I said, oh, I'm not appreciating all those cars. It would seem they say, hey, we have 10 kids, too bad. That's kind of what it sounded like. And one of the things that I have noticed is most of those cars don't move, especially they usually have 7 things parked in their front yard, including a camper trailer and just things that are not, let's say, we need a few cars for our kids. I think they abuse the reasonable choices of the ways that we can use our yards and homes in a non-HOA neighborhood. This is the first time in the 30 years that I've been a homeowner there that I've seen anything to this extreme. And I know that before this meeting, they neatened it up a little bit, but based on, like he said, the 4 months, I don't think it's going to suddenly change. And in particular, I'm here not because I don't know what the process is. I have the Gilbert 311 app on my phone, and normally I use it to report graffiti. something little like that. And Gilbert is usually on it almost instantly, which I tremendously appreciate. There's a lot of things that the town of Gilbert does extremely well. But when it comes to something like this, when a yard starts to look like the bad part of South Phoenix, when it looks like a junkyard, when it looks worse than a commercial car repair shop would be allowed to look in the town of Gilbert, surely there's something that can be done. I can't solve their problem with so many kids, but like I say, a lot of those cars I've never seen move. So I don't think that their claim syncs up with, anyway, with what we're seeing. So in the meanwhile, we have been taking pictures. As one of the neighbors said, it really feels like a safety hazard, partly because that's a busy neighborhood intersection. School bus picks up, drops off, people are turning, and we have opened the code complaints. It's been over 4 months since this started. Many of us have pictures because it's kind of like, you have to see it to believe it. Like I say, I would never expect to have seen something like this. And I know code compliance has contacted me and said, we're working on it. But if it's like been this many months and it looks this bad and it's not good for the town of Gilbert as well as for our neighborhood, it just seems as though there must be something more that can be done. So I appreciate anything that you can do to help with this. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Pam. Our next speaker is Les Bresmek.
Good evening. My name is Les Bresmek, and yes, I am a Gilbert resident. Mayor Anderson, Vice Mayor Buckley, Town Council members. I'm here to give you a little bit of information on a group called America 250. It's a nationwide endeavor to start celebrating the 250th birthday of the United States of America, which we all know will be July 4th a year from now. But the festivities and the events are starting in a week and a half. April 18th, down at the Capitol, that's the 250th anniversary of Paul Revere's ride. And so let me read the short press release from Secretary of State Adrian Fontes. He's inviting the public to this event, which is called Two Lights for Tomorrow, in commemoration of the 250th anniversary of Paul Revere's ride and the enduring spirit of American democracy. This program launches Arizona's observation of the America 250 initiative. And right now, there's about 30 of the 50 states that have active committees, including all 7 islands of the state of Hawaii. So Arizona's story is America's story, says Secretary Fontes. Democracy survives when people are willing to carry its message forward. Just as the lanterns lit the way in 1775, we must be the ones to shine that light today. The evening will honor the spirit of the American Revolution, Native American heritage, our nation's veterans, and military organizations. Highlights will include a ceremonial F-16 flyover, historical reenactments, storytelling, and dancing by Yellowbird Productions, live performances by Sergeant Lisa Camino. She's singing the national anthem, and she serves in the 161st Air National Guard, the 108th Army Band, and the Phoenix Symphony. Food trucks and interactive exhibitors will be on site, and the Arizona America 250 Commission will offer giveaways to the first 250 attendees. So we'll gather at Arizona's Liberty Bell Monument to watch history come alive. After sunset, 2 beacons will illuminate the sky in tribute to the lanterns that signaled the beginning of America's fight for freedom 250 years ago. The event, again, is April 18th from 5:30 to 9 on the east side of the historic Capitol Building and Wesley Boland Plaza at 17 West Washington Street. For additional information, people can go to AZSOS, which is short for Secretary of State, So azsos.gov/az250, or the America 250 AZ at azsos.gov. And from 5:30 to 9, it's going to be an action-packed agenda, and I would hope that a lot of Gilbert can be there to see what's going on. It's going to be a great event. Thank you.
Thank you, Les. Okay, our next speaker will be Dave Rosenfeld, and Mr. Spence, are you here? Okay, thank you. So Bill Spence will be donating his 3 minutes to Dave Rosenfeld, and Dave, you will have 6 minutes.
Thank you. I'm Dave Rosenfeld. I'm a resident of Gilbert. I am a 22-year Army veteran, the Vice President of the Veterans Medical Leadership Council, a local 501c3 which supports veterans on the verge of crisis. Additionally, I am one of the original 7 members of the town's Veterans Advisory Board, having served as its first vice chair and then chair. Having established a rule of 2-year limits, I am now a standard board member. Recently, I was informed of an email conversation between former Councilmember Kathy Tilke and Councilmember Jim Torgerson dated August 22nd. While I have not been a fan of Councilmember Torgerson's tactics, I had no reason to know about this. But not long ago, I posted on my personal Facebook page about my opposition to council members voting themselves a pay raise. As I'm sure you all recall, I was not the only one opposed to this. The funny part is, I'm not opposed to the idea of the pay raise, just the way it was carried out. I also posted about signs which were in clear violation of the town's sign ordinance, which were posted around Gilbert by Councilmember Bongiovanni and Councilmember Torgerson. Councilmember Bongiovanni chose to comment on my post. While my profile is public and open, I am not friends with either Councilmember Bongiovanni or Councilmember Torgerson. I did not tag them in this post, so there was no reason that they should have seen it. However, it is evident that Councilmember Bongiovanni and Councilmember Torgerson were upset enough about these posts that I made on my personal Facebook page that Councilmember Torgerson wanted me fired off the Veterans Advisory Board. Councilmember Torgerson approached the town attorney, which ultimately led to a meeting between Mayor Peterson, Councilmember Tilke, and the town attorney, Chris Payne. The email said, in part, after careful consideration, I wanted to let you know that we believe taking any action at this time, so close to the social media post you mentioned, would be seen as retaliation for somebody's First Amendment rights. Councilmember Torgerson responded, yes, I think he needs to go now. This is not the first negative interaction I've had with these council members. I was the sitting chairman of the Veterans Advisory Board when there was a concerted effort by these council members to prevent me from being considered for reappointment to a second term after years of faithful service to our town's veterans. Councilmember Torgerson even approached me and made inappropriate demands while I was out to dinner with my wife and clients. It was truly shocking and made for a very uncomfortable situation. Following my being informed of the aforementioned email, I made a very difficult decision to make a FOIA request. I needed a clearer picture of what was being said about me and if there was, in fact, an effort to keep me from serving the community in the future. As you know, FOIA is a tool used by local government, state, and federal to learn what is being said in regard to any situation where we may not be in with earshot. For the first time ever, I submitted a request for information on 5 February. I used a nondescript email address in hopes of avoiding retaliation from certain council members. Apparently, I was not successful. Both Councilmember Bongiovanni and Councilmember Torgerson repeatedly asked during the town's FOIA study session how they can, in fact, identify the requesters by forcing them to pay a fee or forcing them to come to town hall and pick up a thumb drive in person. These tactics are meant to be needlessly harassed and in turn threaten the requester. Of course, it's under the guise of reducing waste. I'm curious how many FOIA requests have been submitted by sitting council members before they were elected. I was shocked to see that during the town's study session, one of my requests for public records was used as an example of abuse of the process. Again, I've never filed a request for records before now, and I am being threatened and harassed for submitting that request at this point. I believe I'm justified to believe that there have in fact been other actions taken against me by these council members, including unethical coordination with other council members and violation of open meeting laws. Councilmember Torgerson could not have known about my comments without Councilmember Bongiovanni having brought it to Councilmember Tilke and Mayor Peterson, as well as Mr. Payne. That, I believe, is a clear violation of open meeting laws in and of itself. This attack was, in fact, retaliation for me exercising my First Amendment rights and voicing my objections to a wildly unpopular action taken by Town Council. Use of my record request at the last meeting was another deliberate action taken to threaten and intimidate anyone who dares to speak out, as they are the council members, as they're the ones who, in fact, called for this study session. Recent changes in the town's code of conduct does not allow me to voice my grievances with council and seek resolution, so I am now forced to look at other alternatives. Since I was 17 years old, I've dedicated my life to serving this country and protecting our rights as Americans. I have never, nor will I now, back down to bullies. This council wanted to know who submitted the FOIA request that was used as an example as harassment and fraud. It was me, a first-time user of the FOIA system. It's a shame that we have council members right here trying to strip these very freedoms away from residents who each of you have taken an oath and sworn to serve. Since my FOIA was used as an example in the study session, I am actually confused as to why this has not been fulfilled, and I have still not yet received the information I requested. I look forward to seeing those results expeditiously. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, that concludes our communications from citizens. So I will turn it back to you, Mayor Anderson.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is future meetings, which you see there's one on comparative traffic accident data and study session requested. Communications, report from the town manager.
Okay, thank you, Mayor, members of the council. I'll jump right in. As you know, following a little bit of a different format now going forward, so please do let me know any thoughts, things you'd like to see more of, things you'd like us to highlight or recognize. And with that, I'll jump in, starting with, as we are aware, Arizona Water Awareness Month is April of 2025, and so we're going to highlight our Water Resources and Conservation Division, as well as our Water and Wastewater Division, that we're very proud of the work they do. Starting with our Water Resources and Conservation Division, we'll jump into a quick look at Gilbert's water supply, our potable water supply, also known as drinking water. That makeup is 41% Colorado River water, commonly referred to as CAP water. Salt and Verde Rivers, SRP, which is about 40%. Reclaimed recharge accounts for 15% and groundwater 4%. As we're all aware of the ongoing drought conditions in Arizona and in the southwestern United States, we are currently in a stage 1 river shortage situation. And we have put our plans in place and done a lot to prepare this community should those conditions continue. Our strategies for water resiliency revolve around our operational resilience efforts, sustainable water portfolio, and conservation efforts in our community. In looking at those efforts, our resources and policy, we've got conservation codes for new developments, and I won't walk through all of this. I'll just highlight a few aspects to it. But it limits water-intensive landscaping, looks at the plumbing code, reclaimed water requirements, smart controller requirements, and a water allocation policy. We've got a water supply reduction management plan that guides us as if things should continue to worsen on the Colorado River. The group has also been very successful in identifying dollars to help with necessary investments and upgrades in our town to prepare us for the best condition for water resiliency. Recently, they've secured $27.8 million from the state, $6.3 million from WIFA grants, $5 million in federal water smart funding, and $16.9 million in Lower Colorado River conservation and efficiency funding. We've got a number of conservation programs that you can learn more about on our website: water checkups, school education, adult workshops, water conservation rebates we have available. And in fiscal 2024, we were involved in 883 grass removal rebates, 297 smart irrigation controller rebates, 646 water efficiency checkups, and 52 million gallons of water saved from continuous consumption alerts. Moving into water and wastewater, we'll start with the water system. As we're all aware, at a high level, it treats, tests, and distributes water to our community. And I think sometimes we've talked before, we are the town of Gilbert, but we are a very large American city by any standard, almost 72 square miles in size, almost 300,000 people in population. So our operations are large and they are complex to meet those needs. They treat the potable sources of water that come from CAP, SRP, and then are reclaimed recharge and groundwater sources. Our water infrastructure itself, we have 2 surface water treatment plants, as we're aware, one that's under a reconstruction process right now. We have 20 existing wells. We have 7 more under construction to make sure we can meet peak demand should the drought can worsen and our access to Colorado River water, surface water, be reduced. We have 19 water storage reservoirs, almost 1,500 miles of pipe, almost 92,000 water meters, just over 42,000 system valves, and 14,500 fire hydrants in the town. That future North Water Treatment Plant will serve 70% of Gilbert's water supply upon completion. 250,000 residents as far as capacity for the new plant that it can handle. Should have a service life if we maintain that properly, 50 plus years, and it's going to treat 60 million gallons per day. This plant will also employ the latest technology. You may have heard about some of the PFAS chemicals showing up in municipal water supplies. This plant will have the technology to treat that water as well as other contaminants that are commonly found in Arizona's water systems. Moving on to our wastewater system, again, similar size and number of customers treated and the size of this community. We collect that water, we treat it, and then we reuse it for common area maintenance, golf courses, things of that nature, as well as recharging that back into the ground. And the wastewater infrastructure, 78,000 residential services, 12 miles of gravity sewer, 22,000 manholes, 30 miles of force main, 16 lift stations, 2 wastewater treatment plants, 3 reclaimed booster stations, 78 miles of reclaimed water lines, 651 reclaimed water valves, and 4 recharge facilities within the town of Gilbert. And the clicker's not working. Let me go back. Well, it is going to act up. One thing I wanted to note, we recently were covered in an article about a very innovative pilot program that we took on. We were the first to pilot this in the United States for the BioBox nitrate removal water treatment system. The unit was successfully operated for several months in 2024 at the town's Well 22 site. The pilot treatment plant demonstrated consistent nitrate reductions from 26 parts per million in well water to approximately 2 parts per million in the treated water. This was a small-scale pilot program. However, the results were very helpful in evaluating how this technology could be implemented at an 1,800 gallons per minute full-scale Gilbert well site. The biofilter converted the nitrates in the groundwater into nitrogen that is released into the air. And for those of us who remember 5th grade chemistry class, The air we breathe is made up of about 70% nitrogen. Rebecca Hamill, our Water Division Manager, was the first to know about this technology and supported our in-house test program for gathering data. The town only provided the site, water, and periodic lab sampling. The BioBox team paid all of the expansion, so we're going to continue to evaluate this system. It would require some specialized permitting from Maricopa County and the state for possibly larger scale implementation at the town of Gilbert, but very creative on the part of our water team, and we appreciate their efforts in that space. I also wanted to, before we move on to capital projects, I want to recognize our wastewater manager, Ken Snow, and members of his team. I know you received the notifications last week that we had a main electrical breaker at the Crossroads lift station that failed, meaning we could not power the pumps, and sewage began accumulating in the lift station wet well and our sewer system. Crossroads is our largest lift station and handles approximately 3 million gallons of sewage flow per day. The wastewater team responded quickly, putting multiple contingency plans in place to ensure continuous sewer service to residents and businesses. An emergency electrical bypass was installed to restore the site's power, allowing time to facilitate the permanent repairs. And thanks to the foresight of the project management team, this breaker was already scheduled to be replaced, and the breaker was scheduled to be delivered within days of the failure occurring. And it further highlights the critical importance of our long-range infrastructure maintenance and planning for proactive replacements. But again, that was a very touch and go there for a while. That is a massive lift station, and Ken and the entire team and Jessica, our Public Works Director as well, deserve a huge round of gratitude and kudos for the work they did to avert what could have been a bad situation. Moving on to our capital project status and milestone updates, our quality of life initiative update, those projects that we have greenlit to advance forward and the investments in our community. The next step will be the recruitment. We're in the process of hiring those key positions to help support that effort. And then we will be scheduling a workshop, which is in follow-up to the workshop we had earlier this year around branding of those projects and that initiative for our community. Retirements, recognitions, and awards. I want to congratulate, and I'm just going to call her Judy K. and not murder her last name. She's the 2024 United States Specialty Sports Association Outstanding Service Award. So congratulations to Julie. She does a great job out at Cactus Yards, and our community benefits greatly from people like her being on our team. Also like to recognize Gilbert Fire and Rescue Department. They just received their re-accreditation from the Commission on Fire Accreditation International. That involves a self-assessment, a community risk assessment, and then a 5-year strategic plan. So congrats to them on a job well done, and the community should know that they are well served by Gilbert Fire and Rescue and all of their efforts, and this accreditation is a reflection of that. With that, that's all my report for tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any reports from the council? Councilmember Bongiovanni.
Yes, Mayor. Before I give my report, I'd like to point a privilege and address a comment that was made during communication with citizens. Okay?
Does it fall within the guidelines?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Just for the record, the signs that were made for the purpose of unity. I'm a Democrat. Councilmember Torgerson's a Republican. The signs were made to show that if we can get along, then we all can get along. It was during a very contentious election time. There were some very negative signs about a certain person, and Councilmember Torgerson and I felt that we needed to change the narrative a little bit because it was getting pretty heated. The signs were completed by our PAC. They were done during election time, and they were legal. That's all I have to say about that. Let's talk about the Parks and Recs. We're going to talk about badges and bobbers. Love that name. Join Gilbert's Fire, Police, and Park Rangers for a free community event on Sunday morning, April 12th at the Gilbert Regional Park as we partner with Arizona Game and Fish for a morning of fishing fun. Learn proper casting and reeling techniques from the pros in a safe, friendly environment. Fishing poles and tackle will be available to check out for those not bringing their own equipment. Bait and light snacks will be provided for those registered. Sign up online today. I think this event is sounds pretty fishy to me, but I think we're going to have a fantastic time. Let's talk about Earth and Arbor Day celebration. Join us on Thursday, April 17th at 10 a.m. at the McQueen Park Activity Center for our annual Earth and Arbor Day celebration. Learn valuable resources to create a happier, healthier, and more sustainable place to live. Activities will include recycling-inspired crafts and games, a live animal display, a tree planting ceremony, and prizes and giveaways. Admission is free, and as always, all ages are welcome. I think this event is going to be unbelievable. Come to this event and leave your worries behind, and we're going to have a tremendous time. $3.
$3. Any other reports? Councilmember Buckland.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say on March 29th, I attended our Public Safety Days at the Public Safety Training Facility. More than 500 people registered. It was an awesome event to see all the kids out there, seeing our police and fire apparatus, helicopters, and just building relationships with our public safety personnel. Beyond that, the American Autism Association celebrates April for World Autism Month, so I hope we can all join in celebrating and continuing that work towards helping those on the spectrum and how we respond and create a safe space, not fear.
Thank you. Any other reports? I don't have anything in particular to report on except encourage that it is springtime and there are a lot of things happening in our parks, concerts and things that are going on and other activities in the town. I encourage our residents to get outdoors and take advantage of it before it gets into the triple digits too quickly. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
We are adjourned.